So Ross, about a year and a half ago, I came to you with an idea that I had no idea how you're going to feel about it. We were getting ready to do a sermon series on the book of Psalms. It was a book that to me really felt like the right book for us to be going through as a church, as we've kind of gone through a difficult season. As you're well aware, it's this book that is filled with these really beautiful praises, but also these really deep laments. And having gone through a season where we experienced a lot of those things, it felt like there was more that we could do than just preach on it, but perhaps a way to engage the congregation in a conversation, perhaps, and maybe some sort of creative expression that would allow us to explore those on a deeper level.
Yep.
And so I asked you, hey, Ross, what do you think about writing some songs on the 8 different Psalms?
And I was 6 months into the job.
You had barely started.
Yep. And I said yes. And I was like, this is a great idea. I love this idea. It's really easy. The Psalms are obviously inspiring. It's an inspiring place to write from because we can empathize with the psalmist, the David and the Psalms very well. And so I said yes. And
I'm thankful. I wasn't really sure if you were going to. There's a part of me that's like, oh, maybe this is too much to ask, because in the end, it became this really big project that kind of came out of our study of the Psalms, but also responses and reflections and prayers from the congregation, because each week we asked members of the congregation to respond, to come forward with their thoughts and their prayers and their insights from that message and the text each week.
Yep. David preached on a different psalm, and we gave the congregation, you guys who are listening, the opportunity, and us the opportunity to write laments and honest prayers down on a sheet of paper anonymously, and sort of bring it forward as an offering and a sacrifice of praise to the Lord. And so all of those papers were brought forward. And like you said, it was a season of this church that was hard. It was challenging.
Yeah.
There was grief, there was loss, lots of transition, different things that were going on in different individuals' and families' lives. And it was a beautiful thing. I will say I've never been a part of a songwriting process like this. I've been a part of a lot of different projects, but I've never been a part of a project like this in my life where the church was writing the songs.
One of the things that I love about that is that they didn't know they were writing the songs.
No, they didn't.
Like each week they came forward with their responses, and it was just this genuine act of worship and response. And then we took them, and then to be able to come to the congregation and say, hey, you were a part of writing 8 different songs rooted in the Psalms, and your language, your thoughts, your prayers and insights, they're incorporated into each one of these songs. That was such an exciting thing.
Beautiful thing. And I don't think we really knew, we didn't have a clear vision of what this was going to look like when we started this series. I don't know that we knew we were going to take all of those papers, those prayers and laments, and write songs out of them. But one thing that just sticks out to me is, as a songwriter, oftentimes we'll write from a personal place. As a songwriter, a personal place, what God is doing, life circumstances personally. But what's different about this is we wrote songs out of what God was doing in the church, in the local body at Maple Valley Church. I think if there was any prayer that I had for these songs and for these types of projects, is that God would just use them and not to get a million streams on a song, but to use these songs as formational discipleship type tools.
So if you've not heard the album, Ross, where can people listen to it?
Yes. Yeah, if you haven't heard it, it's available on all streaming platforms. So Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Amazon Music. And if you aren't subscribed to any of those, you can find them on YouTube Music, or just type in Maple Valley Worship on YouTube and you can find them there.
And the 23rd of this month, come.
Yes.
Worship.
Come worship.
Celebrate, sing these songs because they are creations of this body.
Yes.
And that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.